Alright, YouTube, what's going on? G-Rax and the Allfather back at it for week 6 of the NFL picks and predictions. Last week should have been a decisive victory either way with all the picks we did against each other, but it didn't turn out that way. Once again, 11-5 tie. So it seems no matter what we do, we can't break apart here.
Well, for the last 2 weeks, I've been clearly beating you for the first 3 weeks.
I was going easy. Those were mercy picks. I wanted to give you a little lead to challenge myself.
Thanks, I appreciate, the effort trying to make me feel like I know what I'm doing.
But I say it every week. This'll be the week I take the lead, but it hasn't happened yet, so let's just pick them and see what goes down. And we'll begin those picks with Falcons at Saints, a game that kicks off about an hour from now. This game's actually going to be deceptively close. You look at the Saints' record and they seem to suck, but Drew Brees is still getting the stats and he's still playing fairly well other than some turnovers.
But he's hurt too.
I'm hoping he's healthy tonight to make it a hell of a game, but I really don't know which way to go on this one. I guess I'm just going to do the safe thing and go with the Falcons, even at the Superdome. I'm going to trust the Falcons to get it done in a close one.
All right. I don't blame you for taking the safe bet, but take it from the Allfather. There's something about this game that I don't like if I was a Falcon fan. I just think this is going to be a key bump in the road for Atlanta. I'm going to take the Saints at home in a close game.
Will be. I'm not too confident in my pick or yours. This one's going either way. But that's one for Falcons, one for Saints. Moving on to Redskins at Jets. This one's a little easier, I'd say. Jets had a hell of a start to the season. They're still doing decent, but I think they might have slowed down a bit.
Only lost once.
They're gonna get it done on Sunday against the Skins at home, especially. I'm going with the Jets on that one.
Yep, Jets are tough at home. Great crowd. Great atmosphere. Gotta take the Jets in this one.
So 2 for the Jets. Moving on to Cards at Steelers. Here's another good game. But
the luckiest team of the year so far,
Pittsburgh squeaking by.
Michael Vick, I don't know. I guess he's doing a serviceable job, but like every time he drops back, I'm waiting for something bad to happen. But
he doesn't know how to audible either.
My God. Go ahead. Who do you like?
I like the Cards, even coming into Steelerville. Can't quite think of the stadium off the top of my head.
It doesn't matter. The Cardinals are going to harass the shit out of Michael Vick this time. There's no way Vick pulls this one out. I like the Cardinals at Pittsburgh.
So that's 2 for the Cards. Moving on to Chiefs at Vikings. This one's going to be good after the Chiefs got owned by, who was it? It was a big upset.
That wasn't really an upset.
They should have won.
Who'd they play?
What the hell? I can't even... I remember flipping out about it because it should have been an easy Chiefs win.
It should have been, but they're never easy in the NFL. Unless you're the Patriots.
This one is going to be real close, though. They're going into Minnesota.
Going into Minnesota.
Vikings are starting to get it together. They're not a bad team this year. This one's gonna be crazy. I really can't pick, but I'm gonna just go with the Vikings at home, I guess. That'll probably be the upset pick. Chiefs should probably win, but I'm going to give it to the Vikes.
I'm going to give it to the Chiefs.
Oh, geez. Here we go.
Chiefs are going to roll in this one.
Split decision. I think this is where my victory begins. So that's one for the Chiefs.
You guys must be really getting tired of hearing about his victories that are soon to come.
One for the Vikings. Moving on to Bengals at Bills. Oh, here's a test for these undefeated Bengals. Going up into Buffalo. Rex is going to be real prepped. Even though the Bengals have been rolling, and they usually fall off after these tremendous starts, and they haven't fallen off yet, I'm still not sold. They look good, but I'm not sold they can hang on. I think the Bills are going to be one of their biggest tests yet.
Definitely.
And I'm going with the upset. I think the Bills are going to finally stop them. It's a real upset, probably a long shot, but I'm going to trust my gut and give it to Rex.
Buffalo fans are going to be very upset when the Ginger comes into town and spanks the Bills in Buffalo. Give me Cincinnati in this one.
Another split decision. One for the Bengals, one for the Bills. Moving on to Bears at Lions. Here's a real tough pick.
Here's a barn burner.
A game no one's too interested in, but it will be competitive.
This is the game that if you're tired, had a big lunch, just lay down and fall asleep to this one.
This one is the nap 2 game. Bears are 2-3. Lions are still 0-5, looking for that ever elusive win.
At home, though.
They are at home. You know, I think they're due. It was such bullshit. They should have beaten Seattle, was it? That was insane. I think they're gonna be pissed.
That was that missed call in the end zone.
That was horseshit.
Learn the rule book.
I think they rebound finally. This is their first win of the season. Lions are taking it at home.
I'm just trying to figure out if Caldwell has a pulse.
He's one of those just.
Can you imagine
boring.
bringing him in as an inspirational speaker? Oh, what can you do? You know, there's no use crying about it now.
I'd be pissed.
With that guy at the helm, I mean, it's just a joke. I mean, why he still has his job is beyond me. I don't know. It all depends. It's like, what's the Lions locker room even been like since then? Are they like throwing their hands up, giving up, or are they going to get motivated?
Question. I'm hoping they're pissed.
But if you're going by the head coach, it's like the guy, there's no inspiration there, nothing. I'm going to take the Bears going into Detroit and take the Bears in this one.
So Chicago, jeez.
What did you take?
I took the Lions. I'm confident they finally get pissed enough to beat these hapless Bears.
Again, all things being equal, they'll probably match up pretty well. To lose like the Lions lost last week and to have this nothing come out of your head coach. I mean, you lost the game, fine. At least be pissed about it. At least act like you gave a shit. I don't know, maybe I'm just more angry at the coach than I am anything else, but I don't know. I think at this point, the Detroit locker room must be just saying, just give me my check. Fuck this season. Give me my check.
If they lose this game, it will fall to that. That's it for that team if they lose here.
I don't want to go on and on about it, but at least if they showed some fire after that. Like to say, hey, we were robbed on national TV. This was bullshit. But nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I think that the Lions are throwing in the towel. I really do. We'll see. Maybe not, but I think they are.
It's going to be a big reveal at the end of that one.
Set the farm on the Bears.
One for the Bears, one for the Lions. Moving on to Broncos at Browns. Broncos still undefeated, but still looking real shaky. Not all that impressive.
Well, their defense is phenomenal.
Their defense is still awesome, but how long can they carry them? I think they can carry them at least to 6-0 against the Browns. I'll take the Broncos.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think there's any way the Browns can muster up a victory against that defense unless Peyton just throws pick after pick and there's turnovers.
It's possible.
That's so unlikely, though. Denver's your safe bet in this one, I think. So I'll take Denver.
So that's 2 for the Broncos. Moving on to Texans at Jags. Here we go for the Texans. Finally, they get what they need. Easier opponent, but I think it'll still be very close.
With your fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, Blake Bortles, that's right. Just picked him up. He's a hell of a fantasy producer. Just not much of a win producer.
The key word there being fantasy.
He'll help me, but I doubt he'll help the Jags. It's going to be close. I really won't be shocked if the Jags win, but I'm going to give it to the Texans.
God, please, Houston, please don't screw this one up. I mean, come on.
I think coaching's the problem in Houston. Sorry to say. I like Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, I don't know. But
they got the personnel. What the hell's going on? Why aren't they firing yet? Firing on all cylinders, not firing coaches.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Give me the. I'll take the Texans in this one.
So that's 2 for the Texans. Moving on, Dolphins at Titans. First game for the Dolphins coming off the bye, cutting Philpin. They got the interim head coach.
You don't cut a coach.
He's cut, he's fired, he's gone, whatever. And how will they respond is the thing. Will they be fired up now? There was word, unnamed sources in that Dolphins locker room bitching about the coaching. So hopefully now they got what they wanted. Now it's all on the players. They better come out fired up. They're going into Tennessee. This is going to be the last time I put my faith in what should be a good Dolphins team. I'm going to take the Dolphins, but if they blow this one, that's it. You're done, Dolphins.
Well, it's weird because how often do you see a coach get cut, this early in the season and then have your, the tight ends coach take over?
Yeah.
Tight ends coach. I don't even know there was one.
I honestly think that's a player-pleasing move. I think he's a player's guy.
Well, it has to be.
They like him, so they'll play for him. I think that's all that was.
Well, then if you're coaching or owning a team and all you're trying to do is placate your players, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to have them play harder or win.
Mm-hmm.
I still think the Dolphins are better talent-wise than Tennessee. And everything that I'm thinking tells me the Dolphins should win. It's a tough one.
This is one of the tougher
Tennessee,
ones.
Who'd you take, the Dolphins?
I'm taking the Finns for the last time if they lose.
I'm going to take Tennessee just because they're at home.
Jeez, a split again. One for the Finns, one for the Titans. Moving on to the undefeated Panthers going into Seattle. I have not believed in this Panther team, and to be honest, I still don't.
This will be the test.
I don't think they're as good as their record shows. And they're going into Seattle now to play this shaken Seattle Seahawks team. Certainly not the Seahawks of the past 2 years, but I think it'll still be a big test for the Panthers. And I think they come out with their first loss of the season. Just because it's at home for Seattle, I'm going to give the Hawks the nod.
This will be a fun game to
It
watch.
will. I like this one.
You got Cam Newton and Russell Wilson. Oh, it's a tough one.
Hawks do not lose at home.
Yeah. Again, Carolina hasn't played anyone that good, as good as Seattle. I'm going to take the Hawks at home.
So that's 2 for the Seahawks. Moving on to Chargers at Pack. going into Lambeau.
Oh, Lambeau last week didn't.
Yeah, it was a tough game.
That was,
These the Rams, they're just for real. I think we haven't realized it yet, but the Rams are an actual team this year. But the Chargers just coming off that late walk-off loss to the Steelers.
What a joke.
What a game, you know.
Friggin' pitiful that was.
That was intense at the end.
Another referee or NFL blunder.
Nearly.
It's like, Jesus Christ. If that was a Pats game, it'd be on, CNN. But anything that happens outside New England, nothing to see here, folks. Move along.
It could have been a huge deal.
Such a hypocrisy. It makes me want to puke.
Anyways.
Goodell's a dick.
But the Chargers going into Lambeau after that loss, I think they're going to get another. I'm just not picking against the Pack at home. I don't think this whole season, so I'm going with the Pack.
The Chargers losing that game against Pittsburgh was enough for me to never pick San Diego again. that was a joke. It was like, I don't know. It was sickening. The Pack is going to come back furious this week. They're probably going to put up 40 on the Chargers. I'm going to take the Pack, and I would say in a big way. There's no way Aaron Rodgers is satisfied with what he did last week. I think this time he's just going to go off. He's going to make the Chargers pay for his lackadaisical effort last week. So I like the Pack big.
So that's 2 for the Pack. Moving on, Ravens at Niners. Ooh, a little Super Bowl rematch of a couple years back. Certainly not the same two teams.
I don't think they're the same.
A couple shitters here now. This is like the opposite of a Super Bowl. But this is a
more
tough
like a
pick.
toilet bowl.
Oh God, I don't know where to go with this one. A couple shit teams.
It'd be interesting if the Jim and John were coaching against each other again, but this is a whole different lineup. I mean, you had Ray Lewis back then. He should be in prison, but he's not. Now he's on ESPN, making a complete fool of himself. Never mind, it's a whole another thing. Everything comes out of his mouth is nonsense.
He doesn't really know what he's talking
Makes
about.
about as much sense as Phil Simms does.
Phil Simms, I fucking hate him.
Oh God!
If he calls one more Pack game, I'm just turning the TV off and checking the score.
He was so hoping Dallas would,
was
win that
praying.
game. He was like, please, please, please.
Anytime Greg Hardy got a little finger on Tom, it's like Phil Simms got a hard on. You could just tell he's rooting against him hard. He's a big douche.
Isn't everybody though?
Yeah, but he's an obnoxious fucking type.
He is. He's incompetent too. I mean, he was a good quarterback in his day, but man, as a commentator, he just says things to say things. He doesn't even make any sense.
I feel like his partner is there just to correct him.
Yeah,
on all
just
the
to keep
bullshit.
him from, I don't know, pulling his dick out on national TV or something, because he's a knucklehead. He doesn't.
Anyways, he's irrelevant to the Ravens and Niners.
What do you like in this mess?
I don't like either of them, but I'm going to go with my heart and my hopes and give it to the Niners at home. I think it'd be hilarious to see these Ravens go 1-5. God, I think it could happen too. Niners might be a little better than them, but they both suck. But I'm giving it to the Niners in a close one.
I'm going to give this one to Baltimore. Just because I can't see them going 1-5.
It would be unheard of.
A Harbaugh coach team against a team that seems to be really struggling in San Fran. I'm going to take the Ravens on the road.
So that's 1 for those dirty birds, 1 for the Niners. Moving on to Patriots at Colts. Finally, the moment of truth has arrived. God, Indy, time to suffer like you've never suffered before. Just look back the past 6 games. Pats are 6-0, and none of them were even remotely close. And now we're going in
with extra motivation.
With one of the better Pats teams we've had this decade. and probably the worst Colts team they've had other than the Suck for Luck campaign. They're falling apart, we're firing on all cylinders, and we have vengeance on the mind. God, it's gonna be a blowout. Bet the house on the Pats on it going over. I don't care what the spread is. This is gonna be like 70-10.
God, I hope so.
Give me the Pats huge in this one.
I would pick the Patriots in this game anyway. Now it's just a matter of are they. I don't think Belichick will let them get too carried away, with emotions before the game. I think Belichick will have them ready to play as usual. But I think deep down, every single member of that team, that organization, wants Indy to pay the price for that whole Deflategate
They sure do.
debacle. I feel bad though because it's Andrew Luck. I kind of like him, but the rest of them, from the owner to the GM to Greg Doyle on the Indy staff.
Here we go.
I don't like to wish ill will on people, but if the Pats put up a 50-burger, somebody better stay close to Greg Doyle.
Keep the sharp objects away.
You might find him dangling from a rope somewhere at the end of this one.
And he says we're bad people in New England.
Every single New England fan is an awful person, and we don't deserve happiness. And if we're happy, the rest of something's wrong with the world. No, Greg, no. Here's the problem. You get too emotional about your team. I mean, us Pats fans, we get emotional, I understand. But this is like, if it wasn't for the Patriots, what the hell would you do? What the hell would you write about? The Patriots is what makes you wake up in the morning and not decide to end it. Because you want to continue this troll fest you do with New England. Well, you got to get your wish. Here it comes. I just think there's no chance that Indy wins, and I think after the game, I'm really looking forward to your Indy Star column, because there'll be all sorts of new allegations and how we're bullies and how this and that. If you use the word bully, I literally will throw up in my mouth, and your editor should fire you immediately. Bully. Don't use that word, Craig, as much as you want to. You're pathetic. Just want you to know, you're really pathetic. I mean, honestly. All right, let's not go there. You are a disgrace.
The sports columnists everywhere.
All over the world. I mean, people read your stuff, it's like a joke. I read it just to see what kind of train wreck you put on paper this time. How it gets past your editor, I'll never understand. But getting back to the game, I like the Pats. I like them big. And keep an eye on Greg Doyle after this one.
So that's 2 for the Pats, big time. Can't wait for that game. Moving on.
I wish there was a camera on Greg Doyle the whole time, like one of those GoPros. Just have it like extend out, looking at his face, so I can watch the tears and.
If there's anyone who deserves the depression he's suffering, it's him.
Oh, God. Just don't go on another radio show and contemplate suicide and all that, because you're just showing yourself to be extremely weak.
Unreal.
Extremely weak. Grow a set. Get some help. Pat's big.
So, that's 2 for the Pats. Moving on to the final game of the week, Monday Night Battle between the G-Men and the Eagles. This is going to be a pretty good game, I guess.
This is a tough one to pick.
It is. I don't know which way I'm going with this one.
It's because the Eagles are wildly inconsistent.
They are.
They look good one day and shitty the next, and the G-Men, I don't know,
they're doing pretty good these days.
I'll never say anything bad about Eli. He beat the Pats twice in the Super Bowl. Gotta be doing something right.
Something about the fucking guy. Once he gets in the big game, the big moment, God joins his side. And I don't even...
Holy intervention.
Can't even get into the catches that have won him his Super Bowl, but... Anyways, I'm going to give it to him. I'm giving it to the Giants and Eli to take the Eagles this week.
You know what this game is? This game's a coin flip.
Yeah.
It's a coin flip. It can go either way, and I can see it going either way. I guess I'll take the home team. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll second guessing myself already.
It's
Because I
that
can go
sort
either
of
way.
game.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go with the home team. I'll take the Eagles.
Making it interesting. I like it.
We have a lot of games where we went against each other.
Split
There
decisions.
will most definitely be a clear-cut winner, because I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games where you chose one team and I chose the other.
I think there should be a winner in this one.
Well, mathematically, there has to be.
All right, then. Look forward to the results of this week, YouTube. It's going to be good.
Indy Star column, Greggy.
That's right. I think that is the Sunday night game. Yep. So the whole world gets
Somebody
to watch.
buy Greg Doyle an electric razor soon.
You know, if you're going to base your happiness on how often the Pats lose, you're going to live a pretty miserable life.
You don't think he's miserable now?
Yeah, exactly.
Read his shit. The Patriots cheated you, and
that's
the
me, funniest thing. Indy crying that we cheat them.
This is not a homosexual joke. I mean, I'm not. I don't care, but it is so gay.
It is.
And I mean gay in like the idiotic
yeah,
sense. It's not like
the
homo
new
gay.
age gay.
Yeah, it's like, can you get any gayer?
It's just amusing that the Colts are the biggest accusers of cheating when they're our biggest victim.
And
like, if there's anyone we don't have to cheat against.
We cheat, okay? But they threw games on purpose to get Andrew Luck. So, how can you...
integrity?
Yeah, we're trying to save the integrity of the game. Well, you just... Come on. You're talking ragtime. Greg Doyle is the worst of them all talking ragtime. He is like he's just a joke. It's like he wouldn't last 5 minutes in a Boston or New York or even a Chicago market. It's a good thing he's an indie where there's 19 people that read his shit.
And even those 19 people are starting to say, geez, this guy
is like
know,
going off the deep end.
Can we get a more level-headed writer?
Oh my God, without the Patriots, the guy has 0 to live for. He's made that perfectly clear. He said it.
Well, it's going to be a fun week.
Take a bunch of lorazepams before this one, Greg.
You'll see us most likely in our utmost joy next week after our Pats manhandle the Colts as they deserve. Whiny little bitches gonna get punched in the mouth and put back in their place.
And I like Pagano, but he's even getting to the point where he's almost unbearable to listen to now.
I respect
because
him
he's
as
so
a
full of
person.
shit with the things he says. First, he doesn't remember who Dion Lewis is because they had him in there for a tryout. Was it last year, 2 years ago? Whatever, it doesn't matter. So, he doesn't remember who he is. That's a lie. Some of the players on Indy will not call the Patriots by their name. Okay? And they asked Pagano about that, and he knows nothing about it. I mean, stop lying. Come on. I know you want to look like the level-headed guy, but you're not. You're full of shit. Stop lying. Be yourself.
You know, Pagano crying.
And please don't go on another tearful celebration speech.
We squeaked by Tennessee in week 4.
It's a lesson in life. It's the biggest victory. I'll remember this one forever. You have intestinal fortitude. Fucking Tennessee.
They squeaked.
What was it? Game 3?
Game 4, 3
Holy
maybe.
shit! Can you imagine if they actually won a big-time playoff game?
If they beat us, what would happen? His eyes would fall out of his fucking head with the tears. Oh, God.
The whole team, I mean, not the whole team. Anyone associated to Indy just looks so weak and pathetic. It's like, it's fucking football. Act like a man. Christ.
Well, that'll do it for us. I think we got all that out of our system. Now
No, I got a lot more.
Well, like and subscribe, YouTube. We'll be here each week.
So long from the awful New England Patriot fans who don't deserve any happiness.
Sinister bastards, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry about your tire getting slashed, Greg. That was me. I drove from Vermont to fucking stab your tire. Probably drive a Prius, you fucking pussy.
We'll see you later,
Fucking
YouTube, before we get out of hand here.
Pussy. Hate 'em.